Episode 23 was about the Oscar-nominated documentary Knife Skills. Can you give us any updates on what has happened since that episode?
Yeah, an amazing confluence of events occurred right after we did that episode. And, the center of that episode is a guy named Brandon Chrostowski, who started a restaurant in Ohio, in Cleveland, that's based around providing jobs for people who are formerly incarcerated. Everyone who works at that restaurant is formerly incarcerated except for the main chef. And the idea is that it's like a high-end finishing school for extremely high-end French cooking. And so once you finish the training there, you should be able to get a job almost anywhere in the world where high-end cooking is done. And Brandon, who is the main person in the documentary, was trained in some of the best restaurants in the world. And so after that was over, Thomas Lennon, who's the director of the documentary, challenged me to try to find ways to bring that message to Michigan. And so I was looking through the paper and I noticed a story about some of the people in the legislature. In Michigan recently, we had a long period where we had privatized food service in the prisons, and it was a total disaster. And our governor finally decided to get rid of the privatized food service because it had been such a disaster and it caused all kinds of problems, lawsuits, all kinds of stuff. So they got rid of it, and a couple of the legislators were talking about how it would be great if we expanded the culinary arts program that already existed at Coldwater Prison to a lot more of the prisoners as part of getting rid of the privatization. And I saw that, and I wrote a friend of mine at Safe and Just Michigan, John Cooper, and then also he started to talk to the MDOC about it. They got excited about it as an opportunity, and so we created an event where legislators, people in the food service industry, people in the restaurant association, and other interested parties were all brought together. Also, obviously, people in the Michigan Department of Corrections were all brought together at the Coldwater facility, and I was able to get Brandon to come down, Brandon from the documentary, and so he basically they showed the documentary. Brandon did a Q&A not just with the people there, but also with all the incarcerated chefs, and so it's really one of the most, I thought, really amazing things that I've been a part of, because all the chefs saw what Brandon was doing for the first time. So they're in prison and they're seeing what can happen as a result of learning these knife skills. Brandon could help them. The people in the restaurant association were starting to learn why it was a good idea to hire formerly incarcerated people. The MDOC was seeing a pathway forward to expand the program, and legislators were hopefully getting an idea of how a little bit of funding might be able to expand this program. I mean, that a lot more people have pathways once they leave prison to a better life, which is the best way to make sure that they don't recidivate.